a lot of people will know what Snap is, a lot of people won't know. So Snap is basically you kind of, put your face and then you change everything. Why has it not taken as much traction as analysts thought it would?
Well, I think the massive problem for Snap is actually no one really knows what it is. I think if you look at its IPO prospectus, one of the first things it says is that Snap Inc. is a camera company. But it's not doing a very good job at selling many cameras, especially not like spectacles. So the problem is, then is it a social media network? These founders make a big play about saying you can't compare us to Facebook, but all investors in the media want to do is compare it to Facebook and say you're not good enough compared to it.
Right.
So I think the founders also go on about saying how growth is an important metric. You should be focusing on more how innovative we are. But again, investors, clearly by the share price, are more interested in how many users it's getting.
Yeah, so how bad were the results? I mean, this is kind of, they said they do disappearing photos and videos. The real concern is that actually Instagram, right, has now very similar functions to what Snap invented.
Yeah, the earnings are really bad. There's no way of dressing up. I don't think investors are going to be sending each other Snapchats of happy cartoon dogs anytime soon because of this. It's going to be more, vomiting rainbows. I think it's pretty bad. I think 7 million new users is pretty bad. The average revenue per user is increasing, but not as much as people hoped. And I think another thing people often overlook with these companies is the net losses. There were 443 million. That's a really big figure. I think the one positive you can get out of this is that the under 25s, that key demographic that advertisers really want to get in front of, they're now using it on average of 40 minutes a day. Now that is quite a lot. That's almost as much as maybe financial journalists use Twitter, for example. So that's right. Positive, I think. Okay,
I need to get onto the vomiting rainbows. I've never even seen that. Giles, this is a line chart, right? Looking at the equity since it IPO'd back in March, and it's just on a downward trajectory. What does Snap need to do to win back investors?
As I said earlier, all investors really care about is growth. That's how they measure these social media companies. And they see it as a network. And networks need to keep on growing, to keep on winning investors over. The more I think that the founders keep arguing with investors and saying growth isn't as important as you think it is, the more investors are going to be convinced that they're not answering the questions that need to be answered, such as winning over new users.